Hi guys, how are you? Let me know if you can hear me. Okay, great, thank you. I'm in Switzerland, in Zug, Crypto Valley, like the original Crypto Valley. It still exists here. So the view out of my window is different this time, as you can see. So let's get started. Sorry for being late. Like we're meeting some people here. It's Crypto Valley after all. So we are having this AMA in the main Waves official channel. I think we will be doing this in future as well, because this is like the right place. We should actually bring more people now to Waves. And where can you bring them? To the official channel, right? So we'll be here for now. So let's get started. Let's just review what happened last week. Let's play some formal game again, and let's answer all your questions. So last week was interesting. Finally, we closed WX DAO. What I mean by closing, basically it reached its funding goal of 25,000 waves. You still can participate because there is the voting in the mother DAO now to let WX DAO to mint power tokens. And it has already voted for minting. So it's all good, but it's still on until, I think, the 7th. So the snapshot for WX will be taken on the 7th, I think, or on the 8th of November. So you still have time to lock your WX. Also, you can still deposit into the treasury, which is good. I think this is like the last, not the last, but one of the last steps towards like full decentralization of Waves ecosystem, because WX wasn't in Waves DAO due to like budget constraints of Waves DAO, and that's why a separate DAO had to be created. And I think once we have done this, the decentralization mission is kind of like almost complete, so for Waves at least, because we have been able to decentralize everything on Waves, which is good. Also, I'd like to bring your attention to Ambassador DAO, guys, and I want you to participate. And it should be closed soon, so you don't have to like deposit your Waves or anything else. You can just take your power. And how it works: if you stake your power, if you're in Waves, if you like an active community member or want to become one, you just can stake your power token in Ambassador DAO and complete some tasks that the community decides should be completed. And there's going to be some committee that basically assigns the tasks to execute, and it controls their execution. And if you participate, if you stake your power, you get like 10% APY on your power token each month. This is some kind of like universal basic income, UBI, but not for free, basically. You have to do something, right? So what do you have to do? On like the very basic level, you just need to basically retweet, repost stuff that is provided to you. Also, if you want to like become a proper ambassador, if you want to have some offline events, this is also doable, and like it will be like treated separately, but it will be treated in the framework of Ambassador DAO. So you can discuss like maybe later. So, but the basic idea is to be active on social media, Twitter, Telegram, maybe some other channels, and basically you decide yourself what in Waves ecosystem you should promote, because there is going to be governance. Obviously, it's a DAO after all, so you will be able to decide what things you want to promote. and you will decide if the committee that tracks the execution is working properly, and you can become a member of this committee. It's a very simple idea, I think, and let's get this thing going, and let's maybe try to bring more people to this DAO during this AMA. Let me share the link with you guys. Yep. Here it is. So let's play some phone game again. And until the end of this AMA, you can join the Ambassador DAO. And the 3 last members who joined, users, participants who joined the DAO until the end of this AMA will get some PEAT tokens. It's going to be the last one will get 500. The second before last will get 200, and the third will get 100 PEAT token. I think it's interesting. Let's play this. So it's like follow, but with 3 last participants. The last one gets 500, the second 300, and the third 100 PEAT token. I have some PEAT tokens to distribute. So 300 PEAT tokens is kind of like $800. No, I'm sorry. Sorry, it's less, but it will be $800 soon. So it's like it's around like $100. Let's play this, guys, and I will maybe answer some more questions regarding how this Ambassador DAO should work. Just ask me. It's going to be very interesting, and it's not going to bring you millions, obviously, because it's not the goal. But it can provide you with like a steady cash flow every month. And for that, you just need to retweet some stuff. This is very simple. Okay, so let's get started with this. You can join now, and the last 3 participants who join right before the end of this AMA, or like they can join now, and if no one joins later, they win. So 3 last participants get prizes in PEAT tokens, and you just need 0.01 power to join. It's very small. So guys, please get started, and the thing really makes sense. Okay, so what else happened last week? Let me check my notes. So many things are happening all the time. It's hard to get a clear picture of everything at once. Okay, I think the DAOs are the most important thing currently. So let's not distract your attention. And guys, now you can ask me any questions as always. This group is like slightly moderated. So if you want to like use F words or like call me a scammer, you can, but do it like gently. Ask me any questions. Wait, yeah. No. Actually, Ambassador DAO will have a treasury later, maybe, but at the beginning, no. You will just get 10% in power every month for completing the tasks. So if you want to basically list something on a centralized exchange, it requires some budget. Probably we can actually create some kind of like mechanism for this as well, but it will be later, I think. And I'm not sure that it should be in the ambassador DAO. Sasha, please stop inflation waves. Actually, inflation in waves is quite small. It's 4% annually. And without this inflation, Waves DAO couldn't exist. And projects on Waves wouldn't be able to receive funding. So I think it's quite important. And I'm like 100% confident that inflation until a certain limit does not have any impact on the price. Of course, it's a matter of like the magnitude of inflation. If you have some crazy inflation, definitely it does. But you have so many other factors besides inflation, when the inflation is like reasonable, that affect the price. That 4% inflation is kind of nothing. I think people lose more seeds. Their like access to their accounts per year than 4% inflation, to be honest. Because it's kind of like what is 4%? It's like 4 million waves per year, which is like $1 million per month currently. So it's not like, it doesn't really move the needle, believe me. So if the inflation was like maybe 20% annually, yeah, you would see this, but not 4%. But marketing DAO is like agency. If someone apply, will get paid there. Yes, definitely. So if you want to like apply to the marketing DAO for marketing, you should do that. Some projects are doing this already, not only the projects that I manage. Obviously, I manage Power, which is not a secret, but some other projects from the community, for example, Waves Lens, is already working with the marketing DAO. So just reach out. You can do that like directly. You can create a proposal. You can like discuss it maybe with the team and then create a proposal. It's up to you. It's doable. Will Wave stay at the same price or will it grow? I'm always trying to find some humorous answer to questions like that, but it's hard, it's hard. Really, so I will be very serious, so if everything goes well, if we are able to achieve our development goals, this will be reflected in the price as well. Can you provide more details on the process and options available for swapping XTM to L2MP tokens on the Waves? Yeah. Good question. So yeah, let me discuss L2 because it's coming, guys. Like it's in about 3 months, it's gonna be there. So it's time to start bringing it to the public conscience. And I'm talking to like market makers now, to some other big players, that we are trying not only to do a thing which is very interesting technically, but also resolve some issue that we have faced for like more than a year. So that a lot of people stuck in a virus lending protocol, and basically they will receive like the most of L2 token supply. And basically, the development will be funded from the future DAO. So we will not have like any like stake in the supply. At least this is like the idea for now. And it's like you can track it's on the blockchain who has what. So the development will be funded. It is being funded now from the Waze DAO. Future development will be funded from the new DAO, from like L2 DAO, where 10% of the inflation will go to the DAO, and L2 token holders will decide how to spend that 10%. And now what you can do now, and you actually could do that for 3 months by now, because this was announced 3 months ago, and I think we need more action here, because people either don't know. I found out that people just don't know, actually. I tried to reach out some whales on Virus, and it's hard, either you can't contact them, they're like gone, or they have no idea what's going on. So probably this is our mistake. This is our bad, and we need to be like more pushy with outreach, But to your question, basically, you can swap your XTN holdings in Virus to L2MP right now without any limitations. You can also swap XTN to L2MP, that is not in Virus. People are not doing this because since you can swap your XTN in Virus to L2MP and basically exit your whole position and then sell, people choose to sell, and there is a very high stake in interest that was made to actually incentivize early birds, so that people could get this like high stake in interest by exiting Virus early. But still not so many people exited, so you still have time to get a very high stake in interest of around 300% for 3 months and become like small whale in L2. If you swap your XTN in Virus to L2MP token right now. And then what happens next? Basically, after people have swapped, we are like ready to launch the network. Those L2MPs will be used to mine the actual L2 token. So this is the idea, actually. Otherwise, if we would just give away this L2, like the final token, to the community, it would be hard, to like make sure that the price stays at a certain level, because everybody would start selling. But we need to make sure that people are made whole, compensated. I'm not like talking about like making profits. That would be too much, but at least like compensated. So we need to make sure that this like selling process will be gradual. So the inflation will start from scratch, and users who have L2MP will be able to lease their L2MPs to Waves nodes, who will be responsible for basically L2. So the setup actually does not create new nodes. We use the same nodes, the same participants, but they will support just like 2 networks and maybe more in the future. So you can lease your L2MPs to any node, and they will charge you maybe 1%, but you will get the corresponding amount of L2 tokens. There is a name for the L2 token already, but I won't announce it right now, a bit later. So this is going to be pretty important. I think we will be able to make a proper launch. I'm doing like a lot of work in terms of like negotiations, communications with different parties. The setup itself is very interesting technically, because it's not really like something that you have with other L2s. It's a different approach. It's not a zero knowledge approach. It's not ZK sync. It's not optimism. It's like something like the third way, I would say. We use the same consensus that we use on Waves, but we kind of like export it to L2. And through this, we resolve the problem of centralization of L2s, because currently those L2s are very centralized. Because either you have like one entity, one sequencer, so-called, that just like batches the transactions in blocks, and it's very centralized. Or you have some kind of like optimistic consensus where basically there is also one server that does everything, but anybody can challenge what it does by committing like erroneous transactions to L1. It's like kind of not decentralized, and we resolve this problem of decentralization, I think. And we create a very fast EVM compatible L2 at the same time. So it's not something that we like copy. We never copy anything. We always try to invent something. And I think we invented a new way to launch L2s. So this is going to be launched at the beginning of next year. If you think this is going to be a good project, you should, and you are unfortunately stuck in virus, you should basically exit your position into L2NP as soon as possible, because you get a very high staking interest if you exit now. And I'm not like advising you to buy some L2NPs on our DEX. It's up to you. But at least if you have your money stuck in virus, it makes sense to swap to L2NP. Okay. What specifically is Marketing DAO doing with Pete? Yes. Pete, yes. So basically we had like 2 campaigns, 3 campaigns, like general awareness campaign, I would say, that brought some community to Pete, maybe like 6,000 or 7,000 members in Pete group. Then we had the staking contest, which was over a couple of days ago, and we had a launch on Ethereum campaign. I can't say that it was really successful, guys, but like we're moving forward and we will try different things. Don't worry. So this is like my personal project, and I will be like testing a lot of ideas with Pete. Like, yeah, maybe we will use it as some kind of like testing ground for different things, and eventually Pete will fly. So I can just say this. I'm like I commit to it because it's a meme coin. So I'm not saying that this is going to be a good investment or something. No, because it's not an investment. It's a game. But we are trying different things. For example, we have never tried anything on Ethereum. We tried. We understand that it should be done differently. But it's really hard to like understand what you should do without trying. So we tried. We got some feedback. Now we know more, and we can be more successful in the future. Hi, Sasha. Maybe you can tell me how the deprecated market virus case will be resolved. Will there be any payment terms? Yes, if you mean V1, waves that is stuck there can be released now through vesting to XTN at market price without any cuts. So it's one-on-one. Other assets will be added as well. Because there is like BTC, and as you know, those BTCs, it's like a very sad story. They're depacked. So we need to understand how we do that. Either we like release this depacked coin, or like it's like unresolved question. Sasha, we need your fortune teller skills. What do you think will go up first? Waves, power, L2MP? I don't know, of course. As for waves, it's hard to say. Power, we still haven't launched the second phase of power marketing campaign, which will be focused on Mother DAO treasury, because we will be developing not child DAOs, but the main DAO itself, and it will have its own treasury. And the goal of the treasury will be exactly this. The goal of power main DAO, Mother DAO treasury will be the growth of power token itself. Basically, if you forget about child DAOs, people get together to grow the value of a certain token. This will be the idea. This will be the pitch. So I think that we can start that in November, and power should be more powerful. And L2MP is also gonna be there as well, because you have only 3 months to go to swap your XTN in Virus to L2MP, and after that we launch the network. So it's coming. People are very skeptical and complaining about the price, but please understand this is some kind of a temporary token, some kind of technical token, and its price is not relevant. Basically, what is relevant is the share of L2MP tokens that you have compared to the total amount, because based on that share, you'll receive the L2 token. So that's why I urge you to swap, because if you swap now, you get a very high staking interest, and it makes your share go up in value. It's very simple. So it's not something that I'm asking you to believe in, or it's simple math. There is staking, very high interest. If you stake now, you get more tokens. So is there any ETA to Ambassador DAO? Yeah, so as soon as we are done with the launch, we started, and the first voting in the DAO will be to elect the members of this execution committee, or some kind of advisory, or whatever you call it, the committee that controls the execution of the tasks. Could you elaborate on the specific mechanism in place to mitigate risks for WX DAO members when it comes to the price fluctuations of the power token? Good question. This is a very thoughtful question, and let me answer. Okay, so here we have different things. Power token price should be stable because it's very scarce. And basically the release of power token is controlled by the DAO itself. And the goal of the DAO is to make sure that power token price is stable. So it's it should be stable by default, so to say. If it doesn't convince you, I should also mention that in case of WX DAO, you have different mechanisms to make WX DAO worthwhile for its participants. It's not only the power token, which you can unstake every 3 months and sell, but also the treasury growth, which is important, right? And the treasury growth should be there. Why? Because by design, we add WXG tokens to the treasury. people kind of like hate it and don't understand it, but let me explain. WXG tokens are DPEG tokens of wrapped. Okay, I almost said raped. No, wrapped stable coins on waves, which are being bought back with XX fees. And we add them to the treasury to basically make sure that XX DAO can benefit from the fees on XX. So those tokens will be like sold back to the exchange when the DAO decides to do so. They won't go like onto the open market. So this provides some kind of like mechanism for the treasury to grow. And there is this donation of 10 million XX tokens that XX team has made to the treasury. And if XX token goes up, the treasury grows, rises in value. You get 20% of the total upside. So it's not riskless. It's not riskless. But how we mitigate the risks? Power token is very scarce. Its release is controlled by the DAO itself. There is some mechanism for XX DAO treasury to grow almost automatically because you add asset there from the buyback. And also, I think XX token is very oversold at the moment. Like, you can see it. So there is a good growth potential, especially if we are able to complete the roadmap, which was announced. We want to launch the following products. Basically, the most important product that is about to be launched is derivatives markets on XX futures. Also, we're going to launch synthetics, which will allow you to trade like different assets. We will be able to add many different assets in one shot. Also, fiat integration is going to be re-enabled. And another thing which is quite important, because we have some issue now with like dilution of liquidity, there's going to be one USDT token on XX, not several, as you can see now. How much TPS will be able to handle L2? Yeah. Let me not comment on Tom thing because it's too funny. Yeah, so I think TPS is going to be like realistic. It's going to be because even like in most efficient setups, you can have more than, I guess, a couple thousand transactions per second. It's just impossible due to decentralization of your technology, So you can create something which, like you mentioned, thing. I remember BitShares doing something very similar, but you need to understand that it's not real, and it's like it's something that people create in a very controlled environment, right? So realistically, it should be. And the thing is, you don't, unfortunately, need so many transactions. And some people argue that basically blockchains don't have to be fast at all. This is a very stupid idea, but some people do that, because. But on the other hand, they might be right, because this was like this. I think this was like the cornerstone of Ethereum success, because you couldn't push too many transactions to Ethereum, which made transactions very valuable, and you had to pay a lot for gas, which also increased the price of Ethereum and provided some like buying pressure. So in terms of like business development, having not so many transactions are not so bad, but it's like, this is not something that I really care about, to be honest. I was always trying to create a very fast network, and Waves was very fast already in 2018 when we launched Waves in G. And it doesn't matter what some VCs think, blockchains should be very fast. And if there is no use case for fast blockchains now, it will come later. So let's create this technology first, because people think that blockchains are slow, which limits the range of applications that people try to pursue on blockchains, But if people understood that blockchains can be very fast, it would bring other applications to the blockchains, right? So this is like catch 22, Okay. How can the marketing DAO determine if efforts towards speed were successful or not? So basically, if everything goes well, marketing DAO receives 10,000 PET. That was announced. If you think that marketing DAO basically fucked up, there should be a vote in the main DAO, mother DAO, to basically overrule this. And the main DAO can overrule anything in child DAOs. So if you don't like what happens in child DAOs, you need to launch a voting in the main DAO, and it can basically cancel anything bad that happens within the child DAOs. This is the idea. This is one of the ideas behind Power Protocol, and it's very basic. So as Power Protocol is not really sophisticated. If you look closely, it is based on very reasonable assumptions. Galka is asking, why not make Power chat in topics? It's just, maybe it's okay. Let's do it. I'm just trying to to limit the number of chats I'm following, because it's hard. People with good questions should get some waves. Yeah. Okay, please participate in the DAO. Yeah. But you're very you're very direct, very forward. Maybe I can send you some PET. Send me your waves address. Ali, good project, by the way. Amazing team. How much do we need to commit to join the Power DAO? The Ambassador DAO, you need just 0.01 power. To vote, to create a child DAO, you need 5 power, I think. To vote in the mother DAO, you need any amount of power, I think. And to create a voting in the mother DAO, you need 1 power. So basically, you need 0.01 power to join. It's like $3. What is the progress about Neutrino DeFi Index? Hi, Mohamed. Nice to see you here. You're here every Friday, which I appreciate. Yeah, so we the team is doing some research now, because what we want to do, we want to create an index that behaves differently from indexes that already exist, and it is based on an approach which is used by Vladimir, Vladimir, of course, on Puzzle. It's like multi-pools. So you have an LP token of multi-pool, which somehow has different assets in it. And you create an index based on that LP token. And why it makes sense? Because it pays you. So that LP tokens on Puzzle are quite profitable because you have a lot of tokens in one LP token. There is a lot of swaps, and it creates a lot of volume, and the API is kind of like 10 to 30%. And it's like a true API, not some kind of like yield farming API, but it comes from exchanges. It's like a real API. So we want to build an index built on this approach. Basically, you have this token of this index, and it pays you like 10 to 20 to 30% APY, which is very nice. And we want to do some research in terms of like stability. So the question is how more stable it is compared to traditional indexes. And this is what the team is doing now. This is important to understand for the product itself, of course, but also it's very important for marketing, because if we are able to showcase this with charts, this is going to be very important for marketing. We can show to people that, guys, look, this index is more stable and it pays you money. And this is what the Neutrino team is working on now. In ETA, we can expect 1,000. Yeah, I think on L2, Galka is asking about the ETA for 1,000 transactions per second. If you mean L2, yeah, as soon as it's launched, because it will have it, by design. The approach is very simple, actually. Basically, for each epoch, right, which lasts for 1 minute, one node is selected, and it can create a lot of micro blocks during that 1 minute with Ethereum style transactions. It can be a Waze node as well, but it will support not only Waze, but this Ethereum network as well. So only one node is active, and there is no this consensus process, because it's pre-selected kind of. And there is no forks, basically. There can be some forks, but they're not so bad as on L1. And they're easier to resolve. So in effect, what you have one server pushing lots of transactions into the network, and there is no a separate network, basically, because those transactions are packaged into blocks and put on the L1. So there is no this process of distribution of those blocks over the network, which basically makes blockchain very slow. You have one server, it just writes data onto the L1, and as a whole, this process is really smooth and fast. So you have a very high TPS almost by design here. So it's more or less like Arbitrum. Arbitrum, I think, is a better option, because with the ZK sync, you waste a lot of time for proof creation. And in Arbitrum, you just push those state changes onto Ethereum L1, and somebody can challenge them. So it's very fast. So it's something similar in terms of speed. So you should maybe compare it to Base chain, which Coinbase launched, or Arbitrum, or maybe even to Smart Chain, BNB Smart Chain, in terms of speed. .0 comes beginning of upcoming this year. Yes, I think ETA is the beginning of next year. January, February would be reasonable to expect. Because as I said, when I explained about L2MP, L2MP swap will be over in about 3 months, guys. Don't forget. And we don't have any plans yet, at least, to extend it, So more or less, it was It was designed to be this way. So half a year for the swap, and after that, L2 launches. So it's coming, guys. Be more active, because if you have money stuck in Virus, I'm like really, really sad about it, and we are doing our best to resolve it, but this is the way to resolve it. Yeah. It's not guaranteed that everything is gonna work out fine, but we're doing our best, and we're just trying to explain to you what we do, why it should be like successful. And I'm not asking for some kind of like trust. God forbid everything should be trustless. I'm just trying to reason with you and explain to you what we're doing. Is it true that crypto fund back holders can redeem their tokens to the new and improved Neutrino index? What's crypto fund? Amazing CEO. Thank you very much. Vadim, thank you very much. Great team, great community, great Russian-speaking community. Sasha, will the conditions of vesting for Virus USDC market also change? What about the others who will not change for XTN? Yeah, guys. Okay, so the guys who don't want to swap for XTN should reach out to me. Because of course it's gonna be like the idea is to basically buy it back, for example, with some like upcoming profits, more or less, right? So we need to make money to pay to those guys who don't want to swap. But I would recommend you guys to reach out to me personally, to discuss what you want to do. And it's strange because some people message me, but I found out that like some people either don't want to bother, or like basically I'm writing to people. Maybe it's okay. I'm okay with it, but I just thought that if you had a problem, you should be also interested in resolving it, right? I do have a problem and I'm interested, so I'm reaching out but some people seem not to care. So and it's kind of hard to reach the whales on Virus, and I basically posted on Twitter several times. My Telegram is in my Twitter bio, so you can basically reach out to me on Telegram. Whatever, guys, just like I can give you my phone number. I don't know, like where I live, and stuff like that. So, but we need to talk, right? Because if you're silent and then you come and say, "What the fuck," please don't do it. I'm very open and I talk to everyone who wants to talk to me without any restrictions. Did I get the name wrong? Or what do you mean? Very old NXT thing. Yeah, man, but Joaquin, you're like OG. Respect. Wait, it was swapped into waves. Basically, anybody who had those old NXT tokens could swap them in waves. And actually, we had like maybe 2 rounds of this because some people came later and we swapped more. So it was all swapped into waves. Check this, man. If XTN goes to $1, is there any chance waves? I think this is the other way around, man. So XTN doesn't have such a big impact on waves currently. And actually, it did have an impact, but it's over. It's over, so it's like in reverse this statement. So if waves goes up in price, it will be reflected in the price of XTN as well, but I don't think that XTN has any impact on waves currently. Actually, it doesn't. It's like, it's not that, but it's phased out as something that has an impact on waves. No, it's like reserved and it's like niche and it stays there. I will personally give you a blow job for free. Man, I will screenshot this. You should be careful with those statements. Yeah, make a screenshot. Screen this. Okay, so how is our ambassador DAO thing going? No, not so much action. Yeah, I should have prepared better, guys. But okay, so let me post the final timestamp. Let me open the timestamp website. What's the current timestamp? Okay, so it's gonna be okay. I think we're gonna be together for like 12 minutes more, and for centuries later, of course. So this is the timestamp. In 12 minutes. I'll write down the terms again of this contest. And then I will answer more questions. Sasha, when BCH, I will find out. I'm not sure about the situation. I thought that BCH situation has been resolved long ago, but I will ask. I'm sorry. Do you think one BTC? Yeah. Do you think BTC by? Yeah, it's sure possible because I can explain BTC situation. It is kind of different from stables. We have a very big whale, one guy, like without a BTC, who is stuck, and a lot of smaller accounts. So for those like smaller accounts, it's like very feasible that it can be done on one-on-one basis. With the whale guy, I'm like negotiating. And there's also a very interesting idea about synthetics, which can be used actually somehow, but let me elaborate on that later. What is CME? What are you posting? Some address? Rumors saying that you will be able to use puzzle land via Telegram. Telegram integration makes sense. I'm not a big fan of Telegram, but everybody uses it, so I won't say anything bad, anything negative. It's definitely better than WhatsApp, guys. So it's like in some other league. Russian technical prowess. Pavel Durov, I think he's a great UI guy, and he understands the user behavior very well. Yeah, so kudos to him. Is there any plan to make Waves Echo great again? Yeah, I mean, make it attractive for developers and new investors. Sure, I think this is like tied to L2. Because we need some some new resource, because as you know, I'm not gonna remind you this every time, but I'm kind of out of resource currently. Only willpower. I have willpower, a lot of it, but this is the only resource I got. So we need some new resource, and willpower is not enough. You need something more tangible. So I think this is going to be connected to L2 launch, and in this L2 there's going to be a DAO, and 10% of all L2s, I mean L2 tokens, will go to the DAO, and the DAO will decide how to spend them. And obviously, so it's not my decision, but DAO will decide this. Some of those funds will be used to basically sponsor the developers on the upcoming L2, and that's when we can actually start a lot of business development and to bring more people, more developers to the L2, and it will trickle down to L1 as well, obviously. So it's not that we're gonna develop only L2. I think we will have another thing with our L1, because the next stage, we will launch L2, and then we will get back to scaling L1 for sure, because L1 scalability is very important, and we will promote L1 as well, but this will happen later. But even before that, we will have some positive impact on our waves, our beloved waves, through the L2, which we're launching. I'm sure that some developers will come from that L2 to L1. And we will have the resource, those DAO L2 tokens, to pay developers, because it's crypto is trying to create better money, but it's not trying to do without money at all, unfortunately. Communism would be awesome, but nobody figured out how to do that yet. So we need some money to pay. Yeah, and since we are out of resource, we need to create some new resource. And those L2 tokens will be the resource that we can use to develop not only the upcoming L2 ecosystem, but also the ecosystem that we have now. When do you think developers can start to develop on L2? I think as soon as the network launches, because it's like EVM. You can just take one project from Ethereum and bring it over to L2. And it's not the real development. So because, how it goes now. Basically, all those EVM chains have the same projects built on them. You just export your project to some other chain. So the goal is to bring existing projects first. And those L2 tokens will be paid not for developing, basically, but for import of those projects and for TVL. So obviously you need, because it's mostly about DeFi, as you understand. And if you bring your project over, you'll be paid handsomely in the new token if you reach a certain TVL. It's not going to be you're not going to be paid for nothing. There should be some milestone in terms of TVL that you need to reach. Let's sponsor a new developer at L2 via nonprofit DAO. Yeah, so Galka, is launching a nonprofit DAO. It doesn't have much traction yet. It's maybe not because of the idea is bad, but just maybe people are not ready to invest in, like, to give money, to donate to nonprofits, you know. So I have some ideas how we can incentivize people, but I am like responsible for too many DAOs by now. So I'd like to at least launch the ambassador one and maybe sort the current DAOs a bit, you know, out because so many things. I need to bring some order, and after that, maybe I will get back to thinking about how we can incentivize people to donate to nonprofits, which is important. But usually, you know, so if you have some, because there has been a lot of donations and grants on Waves before. I'm not ready to discuss whether it was efficient or not, but you donate when you have some excess funds, obviously, you know. You don't donate your lost money, you know. So, and everybody is a little bit tight with money now because the situation is kind of hard, despite like a lot of money flying around, you know. Some people are getting crazy rich, like arms dealers, you know. The general population doesn't have it easy at the moment, you know. So to get them to invest, to donate to nonprofits is kind of like hard, and you need some angle here, which will eventually can bring them some profits, you know, even if they donate. Otherwise, it's not working. ETA on neutrino index. Something should be done in November, I guess, at the end of November. ARM dealer DAO. Yeah. I think they do fine without DAOs. They don't need decentralization. The more centralized it is, the better for them. Okay. So guys, you have like 1 minute, I guess, until the contest is over. Where is it? Shit. Okay, I think we're not gonna do it today. I wanted to close the ambassador DAO like today, but it's not happening. Okay, next week it will be closed, guys, because we need to start promoting Waves. Please. And we will decentralize everything, even promotion, you know. So it's gonna be some kind of system like network, community, which more power came to the ambassador DAO. So basically, this is going to be a self-sustaining community which propels itself in all directions with different means, marketing, developers, everything. So, and we're very close. And if we do that, we will make history, because I think this will be the first fully decentralized ecosystem where there is no whales. Basically, there is only one whale, the community itself. I hope I was able to inspire you with those words. So yeah, but people like deposited 1 power token, which is not bad. And the winners, please, yeah, guys, try to use Waves Explorer, and the winners should actually speak up. I will do that myself, but if you can, I would be grateful. Who are the winners? Yep, Vladimir for sure. I think Vladimir, if he participates in something on Waves, he wins. You know, if Vladimir comes, he wins. It's not some kind of trick. Vladimir knows waves very well. He is like superpower. So 3 accounts, 3 lost, guys, 3 lost. Who else? Yeah, you can't beat Vladimir. He's unbeatable. Which Sasha? I wasn't participating. Give me 3 addresses, guys. Like the last one, second before last, and the third. Yeah. Ali, this is which address is that? Last one or which one? I want to delegate my prize to Emma. It's like, you know, like sending champagne to a woman in a restaurant. Like, send this bottle to the table. How many USDT with double XG? My estimate is, guys, I'm like sad to say this, it's about $10 million. Yeah, so you can evaluate based on the current rate, but this rate should be increased in future. Yeah. Are you going to donate them? Yeah, they go to WXDAO Treasury, as you know, and they will be bought back by WX again. Okay, guys, so give me 3 addresses, and while they're doing this, let me do some review of the upcoming week. Next week is the most important thing on Waves. You know that. So yeah, I'm gonna be back in Dubai. I met some interesting people in Zug. Yes, if someone wants to see me in Dubai, let me know. I'm gonna be there for a while. Then what's gonna happen? So I think we will close Ambassador DAO and we will launch it. So it's time to start promoting. It's time to start promoting, spreading the word. You know. Then what happens next? So WX DAO will launch like properly. You still have time to lock your WX or deposit to the treasury. Whatever is easier for you until the 7th, I guess. What else? A lot of ideas I have, you know, so we will have to start promoting the upcoming L2. Soon we will announce the name. There's going to be a website, some other announcements. It's coming, guys. So I urge you, I'm not begging you. I'm like suggesting that you could consider swapping your stock XTN to L2MP. I'm not suggesting that you are like swapping your XTN, which you like have in your possession unlocked, because it kind of like might seem weird because of the price. People will have to do that eventually later, you know, when the L2MP price goes up because of the upcoming launch. Wow, we have some spam here. Yeah, but consider swapping now because you will have more tokens because of very high APY. It's like 300%. You can become a whale, you know. Why did admin kick me out? I don't know. What this address? It's mine. No, Galka, you're like shitting on me. I'm in Suk, I think, till Sunday. If you wanna come, but not so much time. But Vladimir, you're always welcome. Oh, come to Suk. If you manage, message me in DM. Okay, so let's wrap it up. WX DAO launches next week. L2 starts moving forward, like in public view, so to say, not only under the hood, but also like publicly. So expect me to be more active. I think I should like present it at some conferences finally, you know. So let's get going, guys. You know, so a lot of things are coming. A lot of like bad mood still there, but okay, what can you do? It's a very difficult time, not only for Waves, but for the world as a whole. So, but I think we will work it out. Everything's gonna be all right sometime. I love you all. Ride on Waves. Till next time. Power to the people. Thank you very much.